Hello students, myself Harshal Nilkande Nemade, lecturer in Mechanical Department at Praveen Patel College of Diploma Engineering and Technology, continuing with chapter number 3 Fluid Machineries, part 2 now. Introduction to pump, reciprocating pump, centrifugal pump is known as rotary pump, submersible pump and jet pump. Introduction to pump. Pump is a machine or a mechanical equipment which is required to lift liquid from low level to high level to flow a liquid low pressure area to high pressure area or booster in a piping network system. Principally, a pump converts mechanical energy of a motor into the fluid flow energy. Classification of pump. Positive displacement pump is known as a reciprocating pump and rotary dynamic pump is known as centrifugal pump. Okay. Introduction to reciprocating pump. When a mechanical energy is converted into hydraulic energy, pressurized energy by sucking the liquid into the cylinder in which the piston is reciprocated, thus the exerting and thrust or a force on the liquid and increasing its pressure, then such a hydraulic machine is called as a reciprocating pump. Classification of pump. Reciprocating pumps are classified into following manner. According to water being in the contact with the piston, single acting and double acting. According to the number of cylinder, single cylinder pump and double cylinder pump. Construction and working of the reciprocating pump. You may see the diagram. In construction, there is a cylinder, piston, crank, connecting rod mechanism, suction valve, delivery valve, suction pipe and delivery pipe. You will see one by one. Okay. Cylinder. It is accommodated the piston and permits the movement of a piston forward and backward. Piston. It is fitted inside the cylinder and the piston rod is connected crank by means of the connecting rod. Connecting rod and crank. Connecting rod connects the piston rod to the crank mounted on the crankshaft. When the crank shaft and hence the crank rotates, its rotate motion is converted into transmitted to the piston as the reciprocating motion. In simple word, when the crank start rotating, the piston move backward and the forward inside the cylinder. Suction valve and delivery valve. Both valves, suction valve and delivery valve, are one-way valve. In it means that liquid can flow through this valve in only one direction. Suction valve admit water inside the cylinder, where the delivery valve permit water to exit from the cylinder. Working of the single cylinder reciprocating pump. Initially, the crank at the inner IDC portion. When the crank rotates in the clockwise direction, the piston moves towards the right and a vacuum is created on the left hand side of the piston. It means the pressure in the cylinder left side decrease below the atmospheric pressure. Due to the pressure difference, suction valves get open. Now the liquid is forced to enter the water in the sump water reserve from the water sump or reservoir into the left side of the portion. When the crank reaches to the outer dead center position, outer dead center means ODC, it means that suction stroke is completed and the left side of the cylinder is full of the water. When the crank further rotates in clockwise direction from ODC to IDC, the piston moves inward to the left hand side. Due to this, liquid gets pushed towards the left, thereby building up the high pressure in the cylinder. Due to increasing pressure inside the cylinder, the delivery valve get open and the liquid is forced into the delivery pipe. Then the liquid is pushed and sent discharge tank through the delivery pipe. When the crank comes back to the IDC portion, that position in the extreme left position, it means that delivery stroke is completed. Thus the one cycle is completed. With the further rotation of crank, same cycle is gets repeated again and again. Working of single cylinder reciprocating pump. Okay, sorry, it is double cylinder reciprocating pump. Okay, I have written single, it is double. Okay, in case of double acting reciprocating pump, two suction valves and two delivery valves are there. Okay, considering initially the crank of IDC position and the crank start rotating in clockwise direction. When the crank rotates, the piston moves toward the right hand side, the vacuum is created to left hand side, therefore the liquid is served to the left hand side from the reservoir. Okay, as the piston moves to right hand side, the liquid is full of at the left hand side. At the same time, liquid is already present on the right hand position is pushed due to the movement of the piston to the left to right. A pressure is built up on the right hand side of the piston is forced to deliver the pipe through a delivery valve towards the discharge tank. This operation continues till the crank reaches the outer dead center position. Thus, during this crank revolution, IDC to ODC, liquid is sucked through the suction valve. Okay. SI in the left side cylinder, liquid present right hand side in the delivery to discharge D2. In this tank, through the delivery manner, when the crank rotates from IDC to ODC, stroke, suction and delivery strokes are occur simultaneously. With the further rotation of a crank ODC to IDC, the liquid is sucked into the cylinder's valve 52 from the lower level water sump. At the same time, the liquid already is present on the left hand side, okay, of the cylinder delivered to discharge delivery valve D1. Okay, in this manner, when the crank rotates from ODC to IDC, both stroke. Thus, the double-acting reciprocating pump gives continuous discharge of the liquid to the discharge tank. Since the crank reaches to the initial position, that IDC, the piston also come back to the extreme left position one cycle is completed. With the further rotation of the crank, same cycle gets repeated again and again. Advantages of reciprocating pump. Reciprocating pump have the ability to develop the very high pressure with moderate discharge. Therefore, prefer the centrifugal pump's discharge. This is required in the application like where the high pressure with moderate pumping of the oil from the deep well. Hydraulic device like hydraulic jack applications, hydraulic jack feed water used in the thermal power plant, pneumatic pressure firefighting systems, small hand operated washing and servicing stations, pumping of oil in deep well. Difference between is there in single acting and double acting reciprocating pump. Have given some point of comparison: conduct of water, number of pipes, number of valve, number of dilute stroke, discharge, air vessels, efficiency. Okay, you may see sleep. Sleep is defined as the difference between the theoretical discharge and the actual discharge. Sleep is equal to theoretical minus Q actual. Okay, and percent sleep is equal to Q theoretical minus Q actual divided by Q theoretical multiplied by 100. So Q theoretical I will remove common, 1 minus Q actual upon Q theoretical multiplied by 100. Q actual upon Q theoretical means CD. So 1 minus CD into 100. Negative slip means what? Negative slip means in most of the cases it is observed that actual discharge obtained is theoretical low is less than the theoretical discharge. Therefore, value of the slip theoretical discharge minus actual discharge is positive, and the value of CD is equal to Q actual upon Q theoretical is less than 1. However, some cases Q actual may be more than Q theoretical. In case of value of slip, Q theoretical minus Q actual is negative, and the value of CD is equal to Q theoretical upon Q actual upon Q theoretical is more than 1. Negative slips occur when there is direction connection between the suction and delivery side more end of the suction stroke. This is happened to the momentum of liquid in the suction pipe is large enough to open the delivery valve even before the beginning of the delivery stroke or before end of the suction stroke. Negative slips occur in case of the reciprocating pump having low suction pipe and short delivery pipe, especially when they are operating at high speed. Classification of centrifugal pumps. Centrifugal pumps are classified in various given ways given below, according to type of casing, according to number of stage, according to working head, and according to the type of impeller. Construction of centrifugal pump. Centrifugal pump consists of impeller, casing, suction pipe with strainer, non-return valve or foot valve. Function performed by the foot valve and non-return valve. Okay, non-return valve allows the flow of a liquid only in upward direction. Suction pipe and casing of a pump up to the central line will remain full. Liquid Okay, non-return valve helps in priming, and last one is delivery pipe with the delivery valve. So you may see the in figure. Okay, there is a casing. Inside the casing the impeller is there. Okay, one end of the the water is getting sucked from the sump. Okay, before some on that pipe, the water the pipe which is dipped in the sump. Okay, and at the end of the pipe there is a strainer and non-return valve. Okay, and at the delivery side we may see the overhead tank where the water is getting stored. Okay, working of centrifugal pump. When a certain mass of a fluid rotates by the external source of it is thrown away from the central axis of the rotation, and centrifugal head is impressed, which enables to the fluid raise at the higher level. I have given the step-by-step explanation of centrifugal pump working. You may see. Okay, initially delivery valve is closed and pump is primed, that the suction casing and the portion of the delivery pipe up to the delivery valve are completely filled with the liquid to be pumped. This is known as the ensure of the no air pocket present inside the portion. Now the electric motor start rotates the impeller. The rotation of the impeller in the casing full of liquid produce the force of vertex. Okay, the force vertex is responsible to impact the centrifugal head of a liquid. It creates the vacuum and a eye of the impeller cause the liquid to rise into the suction pipe from liquid sump. Speed of the impeller is gradually increased so that to produce the sufficient head centrifugal head which is indeed the discharge from the delivery pipe. When the liquid is being continuously sucked, passes through the eye of the casing, enters the central of the impeller or the inlet tip of veins of the impeller, the delivery valve is open, the liquid is impelled out of the rotating veins and the liquid comes out from the casing. Due to the impeller action, the pressure head as well as the velocity head of the liquids both are increased, and the liquid passes through the delivery pipe from the casing and the lift rate required to the height and discharge into the overhead tank. Liquid is continuously sucked from liquid sump to the impeller eye delivery through the delivery pipe as long as motion is given to the impeller. Before stopping the pump, delivery valve should be closed, otherwise there may be some backflow of pressure liquid from overhead tank. Advantage of centrifugal pump: small in size, space saving, output is very steady and consistent, easy for maintenance, no danger creates if discharge valve is closed while starting, deals with large volume, able to work at the medium to the low head, able to work medium to the low viscosity fluid, almost no noise. Disadvantage of centrifugal pump: extra priming process is required, cannot be able to work and the high speed, cannot deals with the high viscosity liquid. Application of reciprocating pump: agriculture and irrigation purpose, pumping of water in the building, transferring the raw material. Comparison between centrifugal pump and reciprocating pump: there is a comparison on the base of point of comparisons are given. You may see. Okay, there are total 17 points. Have a look. Submersible pump. Okay, see the pump submersible. Here the pump of the assembly, that both electric and motor and the pump is submersible in the water. The submersible pump is modified version of the deep well turbine pump and is used to pump the water in various applications such as the drainage, sewage pumping, slurry pumping area. These pumping are able to handle the sandy seawater, corrosive, chemically abrasive and aggressive water. They can be installed at the offshore platform for dry rock dewatering, mine dewatering and firefighting. This compact assembly of a pump and a motor operates below the surface of the water in the well. Pump shaft and the motor shaft are coupled with the muff coupler. Okay, as the motor is submerged in the water, motor windings and other electrical connection not needed to protect against the contact with water. All the bearing used are the water lubricated and protected against the sand. The suction housing along with the strainer is provided in the between the motor and the pump. Non-return valve is provided and top of the discharge water above the ground level. Most commonly used type of the pumps are vertical centrifugal pump provided with their radial or axial flow of impeller. Advantages of submersible pump: low capital cost, low operating cost, noiseless operation, more reliable, long life, high discharge with the high head. Application of submersible pump: drainage, sewage pump, slur pumping, dry rock dewatering, fine firefighting, pressure boosting, okay, washing system, for gardening use, supply of water from a dry well and reservoir, domestic application. Jet pump. Jet pump consists of construction. You will see jet pump consists of conventional centrifugal pump provides the jet nozzle and the suction end. This helps to increase the suction lift from a nozzle normal limit of 8 meters to the water head up to 60 meters. Working: suction side is completely filled with the water and pump is started. A stream of a high pressure water from delivery pipe to of a pump is allowed to a flow of through a suction jet valve. The pressure energy of water is converted into kinetic energy. This creates the local pressure drop. Due to the pressure drop, suction is created and water is sucked from the bore well. This ensures considerably large supply of the low pressure water. When stream with a determined different velocity mix in the mixing zone, some of the pressure release take place in the mixing zone. After the mixing zone, there is a diverging section where the further pressure is rise occur due to the decrease in velocity. Application of pumps: using mining industry using pumping oil used to withdraw the muddy water from the excavation trench. Okay, use of the lift of water from the well to the small bores. Important formulas are there, so numerical will start. Important formulas, some 6 formulas are there. Okay, have a look. There are some numericals which are solved. See the numerical, practice it, okay, properly. This is second numerical. Okay, thank you.